Moreno is with me now. He's a former prosecutor at the Justice Department. So, Joseph, Donald Trump's lawyers get to address the special counsel's questions in writing. This feels like a win for Team Trump. Would you agree with that?
I have to say yes, Cyril. I mean, it seems like a small win, but possibly a significant one down the line. I mean, look, the worst case for the president would have been to walk into a grand jury subpoena or some other kind of interview where he's put on the spot. He would not know what the questions would be in advance. He may or may not be able to turn to a lawyer and get advice. So this is obviously a much better way to give answers to the questions in a thoughtful, calm, relaxed atmosphere where he gets to write out, think it through, have his lawyers review it, and then submit it.
We're not 100% sure that that's not going to happen at some point down the line, though. There is still a possibility, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that Donald Trump may go in and answer questions face-to-face, right?
Well, certainly. It could happen a couple of different ways. One is that we're told by reporting that these written questions only relate to the Russia collusion portion of the investigation. Now, we know that the special counsel is also looking into potential obstruction of justice. Now, there must be a reason why these questions do not address that area of the investigation. So that certainly could be the topic of a future subpoena or other instance to get live testimony from the president. The other possibility is...
Hold on. So let me get you to pause right there. Let's just break that down for a second. What does that tell you? The president's lawyers are okay to answer questions about possible collusion and what happened during the campaign. They are not okay. They have not reached an agreement with the special counsel to address any question of anything to do with possible obstruction of justice.
It could mean a couple of different things. One is that the president's lawyers are aggressive and that they are they're feeling good about the obstruction case and feel like they can push back and they're not too afraid of the consequences. That's one possibility. Another possibility is that they're very sensitive about that area of the investigation and therefore they're doing everything they can to push back and not answer questions in any forum, whether it's live testimony or written Q&A.
So how does this move forward from here? There is a first round of questions that are being addressed in writing now by the president's lawyers. Then what?
Well, a couple of possibilities, right? So we were saying earlier that one possibility is that the president could still get a subpoena in the other portion of the investigation, which is the obstruction area. Another possibility is that the president provides these written answers to the questions, and the special counsel says, you know what, I'm not satisfied with these answers. Either they're too short, or they're not detailed enough, or you're sort of playing around with your answer and not being direct. So I'm not satisfied, and either I want to revisit them in future written questions and answers, or, you know what, nothing short of verbal testimony is really going to satisfy me. So it really could still go down that road, and if it does, we're looking at a potential battle in the courts.
Does the special counsel currently have this right to respond to these answers and to demand more answers, to pursue the conversation in writing, or is that something that's going to have to be established and negotiated with Donald Trump's lawyers again?
It's really a negotiation. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, a lot of what we're doing here, there's no written laws or rules that dictate how you investigate or question a sitting president. So a lot of this is really hashed out between the lawyers. And they're very good lawyers on both sides. So you have some very talented prosecutors working for the special counsel, and you have some very good lawyers working for the president.
You would think so.
Yeah, so you can imagine these are very, very detailed negotiations that have been going on for quite some time.
If you take a step back, big picture, does this mean the special counsel is moving toward the end of his investigation? I mean, the fact that he's now asking questions of the president directly?
Most likely it means we are closer to the end than we are to the beginning. You know, in any significant financial or white-collar investigation, you're going to start with the smaller players and work your way closer to the focus of the investigation. And here, that's President Trump. So it would seem like if the special counsel perhaps has exhausted the documents and the emails and the smaller players in this matter, and he's working his way toward the president, hopefully that means he is getting to some conclusion, at least on the Russia collusion portion of his investigation.
All right. Well, it makes more sense. It is clearer now. That was the point of this conversation. Joseph Moreno, it's all thanks to you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Happy to do it. Thanks.